went and picked two beautiful beans. Obviously the Don Pepe, the champagne of coffee. That's the green Barty.
Yeah.
But the champagne of coffee from Panama. Peach is in a cup, a pour over type of coffee, and then the Dominican Republic. So let me just find the profile number that I have to use to cook the chocolate, 1953. So basically, because I've profiled these beans so many times, I've charted the profile for this bean.
So is this it here?
Yeah. So essentially, it's how. So when I roast blind and to stay consistent, when I roast to a flavor profile, flavor taste, flavor. Because I've profiled it so many times, meaning roasted it so many times, I went and charted all those and worked out which of those is probably the best for that particular bean. And as a result, I just go to that chart and then follow that chart. So that chart is chocolate 1953. So I'm just going to pull it up. This has just been warming up.
Yeah.
And there's a steady temperature of, that's the drum and that's the air temp.
So where did you get this dashboard from?
It's a, yeah.
Is it a program that you can just like download or something, or is it something?
Yeah, so it's a open source product. It's called Artisan, and it connects to your roaster, and everyone kind of uses it. So 1953. 1953. There we go. So for this profile, for this particular bean, we have to drop it at 183.
So explain this. So what's this?
So there's 4 stages to a roast. There is the temperature you drop the bean in into the drum. Then you have the tipping point where the bean is one with the drum, so it picks up the same temperature, and then you slowly take it to dry end, which means the beans turn from green, yellow to dry end, which means from dry end, it's really all about the trajectory, so the rate of rise, to be able to bring out the flavors all the way through to, it's called first crack. So you're warming up the beans, like cooking, warming up the beans to get them to, so beans have about 13 to 30% of moisture inside the bean. It's quite mummified, right? So what you're doing is you're heating the outside and the inside. So when you do a good roast, the inside and outside have uniformity of cooking, right? Which means if you overcook, then there's still moisture left in. And there's a different profile, right?
Which is why your last one, you said that was oily because there was moisture and that.
Well, the oil. So I cooked it further so that the oils came out as a different profile, right?
Okay, yeah.
You know, well, good question. You know when coffee's stale, it's when it has moisture on it.
Okay.
It hasn't been cooked right. So when it's cooked completely right, it's all about there's never any moisture. It stays because it's got all the moisture out of it through the roast process. So then think, you know, when this gradient here, if we were to cook it like this, then it's just going to burn the bean and then we're done. It'll probably blow the machine up and to go would create a fire. So objective is from dry end, and you'll see it as we roast it, from dry end to first crack. This is quite a long rate of rise. And then the development process. So when at first crack is when you hit the Maillard effect, which is 180 degrees. It's when you start getting the caramelization and the sugar. And so this one here is a very super, when you're going to stand here, try and stand closer to.
Okay. Like here.
Yeah, so I can see this.
Yeah.
So this bean is quite, because it's a natural and honey processed, it's quite a light development, so quite a light bean. So that I don't get a lot of acidity, like high peak of acidity, you roast it really lightly. And this is a 9.6% development. So after first crack, really short development and then drop. So that's kind of the stages of coffee. Yeah. And yeah, let's go for it.
And then how do you clean this out? Because you
don't.
Oh, you don't?
No, because see, I'm not going to open this, but the beans go in there, this opens up and they fall into here.
Yeah, but then doesn't that mean different beans?
No, I guess just the heat. Like again, like when you overheat like a frying pan, like cleaning it same kind of way.
Yeah. Okay.
So here, 183 is the drop point. We're a bit high, so I'm just going to put air into the drum, and this is going to reduce in temp. Right.
And so a Campos or someone like that would have this, but on a much bigger scale.
Massive scale. Yeah. So again, this is a 1.52 kilo roaster. So it's not like I can put any more beans in. I'd have to buy a bigger roaster, right? So bigger equipment and so forth. Again, the reason why I bought a much smaller roaster is to make sure we're always consistent.
Yeah.
So this is dropping. I'm just going to drop it a bit further. And then
so what did you say, 187? So
yeah, 183.
183.
183.4. Around 183. So it's getting there. How's that coffee feeling?
Yeah, good. I was still feeling the buzz a little bit, and it's just coming down.
Well, the other thing we don't also know about is when it comes to specialty coffee, the fresher the coffee, the less the massive anxiety high as well.
Yeah. So I didn't feel anxious, but I just feel it's almost. I can just feel it in my head. I can feel almost my heart rate. But I wonder actually what would be interesting is on this, if I look at my heart rate.
So then we're.
The last 4 hours. So that's obviously when I cycled 137.
137.
And then, but I reckon when that next peak there would have been when the.
Yeah, right. They reckon that your heart rate increases by 20% doing a shit. Did you know that?
Yeah, I can believe it.
I
reckon mine go up more, even more.
I had a heart rate monitor.
I'm a 5 times a day man.
You're a classic.
Oh, you had a heart rate monitor?
I had a heart rate monitor when I did a poo, and just to test it. Oh, it's so funny. Okay, I think we're okay on this one. Just gonna try and. Okay, we're right. I'm gonna drop the chocolate. This is. Chocolate, and then we're gonna straight in. So if you look at there.
Ah, yeah, okay, I got you.
So then I'll get you to smell them as we go. But we kind of, we did it right on this one. So yeah, have a look.
Okay, so this follows then a previous.
So the air, the pink is the bean temperature. Which means we've just dropped cold beans into a warm drum. We've reduced the drum temperature, and so the air is the green part.
This one here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now see where it's starting to go into tipping points.
Yeah.
And so what I will do, I'll increase the temperature, give it more gas. See the gas down here?
Yeah. Okay.
So I'll increase the temperature to get it to a really similar rate of rise as it hits the tipping point.
Wow. So like this, all this technology, but they used to have. They would have been doing this just.
No. Like this tech's been around for a while.
But coffee's been around for longer. So if they were roasting coffee,
well, it's sourcing, buying beautiful coffee. You want to make it to a specific way, right? And so I guess for me, this is like a little hobby to be able to share how coffee's made. So see how it's now picking up in temp? This is like the temperature of the bean. So I'm just gonna wait for it to kind of follow
this
this graph.
Going up slightly higher than that one.
So I'm just gonna wait for this to drop like it's on its way out, and then I'll give it juice. So I want this to follow that line there.
Yeah, this line. So
exactly. So this is on its way, and I'm going to give it a tiny bit of juice. See that? See how it's just picked up?
Oh yeah, and this is the air you're putting in.
No, that's that's the temp.
I thought that was the temperature.
That's air. And this is gas. Sorry, I call it juice. So this is now what I want it to do. I want it to reduce onto this sort of level playing field.
Yeah.
And the other one there. So it's quite a slow. Have a look at the beans.
Oh yeah, it's starting to change. You can see the colour.
So I'm going to get you to smell them, but not just yet.
So they really smell like just bitter chocolate.
Well, we'll have a look.
You know, like, or not bitter dark chocolate, I should say.
Mate, this is part of the journey.
Yeah.
So I've got it in a really nice place to where this temp is going. I need this to reduce. And it will do that.
Yes, you can see it coming down.
Might just give it some more love. See, that's coming up slightly.
Yeah.
Okay, and I think I might just leave it, and I'll get you. I'll come over, and you quickly smell. So I'll just give you two. Now here, this is the trial.
Yeah.
Ready? No, put your face there.
Do you want me to?
Put your face there.
Yeah.
Ready?
Yeah.
Smell that. What does it smell like? Go again?
Yeah. That smells. So that is a definitely chocolatey.
It's not chocolate.
That is a chocolate. That smells like a chocolate bar.
Does it?
It smells like chocolate, not a cake.
I think it smells like donuts and like cakes and like bread.
Chocolate cake.
That's the start of yellow to green to yellow.
So that is definitely a chocolate cake.
I know you like this thing,
but it's gone. Yeah, it's like if you were baking.
And so as I love how excited you get. As you get into further up to dry end means it's now starting to go into brown.
Yeah.
So where are we at here? This is like yellow, green to yellow.
Oh, well look, and you've got a few of them are turning brown.
Yeah. So as we heat remove the moisture in a really slow way, it changes the profile of the bean, like the taste.
It's funny you say donuts. So you know the reason why I would never pick out donuts?
So?
But I don't eat donuts.
Don't you?
No.
I love donuts.
But the chocolate cake I get.
So I'm just gonna.
But it doesn't smell as so. You know, dark chocolate is more of because there's less sugar and everything, and this doesn't have the sugars in it. But it definitely smells like that sort of dark chocolate.
So now we're approaching to dry end. So if you look at this bean now, it's starting to get colour. And you're starting to get the smell of like the coffee.
Yeah, it's pretty quick actually, isn't it?
Yeah, it's about a 15-minute roast. So I'm going to call dry end. And so this is where the graph helps you with, again, profiling. Because you're following a certain graph. So I'm quite liking where this is at. And so it's on a really good trajectory. So I'm just going to let you smell it up about there, and you'll definitely smell something absolutely different. Mate. Ready? Just put your head there, because it's going to have to be quick, because I don't want to put temperature into the
it's just
air through.
Like similar flavour. It's just getting more, I guess, stronger. It's more. more intense.
Okay, cool. That's doing really well.
And does that bring,
look.
like you've got to be, that brings down the temperature if you leave that out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, it's airflow. So this is a beautiful, beautiful
Yeah.
bean.
Wow, it's really turning out, isn't it? Have you been to any of the, because it was years ago, it must have been 5 years ago, because we were looking at cafes at airports, so there's a group of us that went on a tour around Marrickville and Newtown, because you get a lot of the roasters there. So we went to, have you done the tour?
I've, us roasters, people that roast are quite clicky.
Yeah, but you can go as a you can actually get a coffee from there.
But then when you start asking questions, they go, "Well, how do you know all about this stuff?" And then you start going into. Well, I had one of the other roasters, Nathaniel's roaster from another coffee shop, looked at our beans and he started critiquing my beans and all this shit, and I was just like, "Fuck, mate,
What was he saying? What were they saying?
Oh, just a little bit too much moisture. There was scorch marks. It had all this thing. I'm just like, come on, mate. Like, it's an art. It's cool
to get the feedback because
it's like me scratching out your eyes because your beans are better than mine. Like, who cares?
Oh no, but he's looking at the beans. Was he looking at the beans once they were roasted? So it's like if you're a chef and you're cooking and you're still relatively new to it.
Do chefs like each other?
Yeah, some of them do.
They don't want to fucking stab each other in the heart.
No, but if you're just learning a new trade or a new craft,
they rip you a fucking new one.
Yeah, but it's good because it improves.
You want to smell this? So we're at a different stage of the profile. Smell that?
Oh yeah.
You like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's just
and then so when it comes in here. Oh yeah.
So I'm quite. This is awesome. We're gonna give it some more temp. Give it some more airflow. You can't. That won't taste anything. It needs to go through first crack. That's not a coffee you can actually make. It's not ready yet. It needs to hit a temperature of about 180, which is now past it. So what we're doing now is waiting for first crack. I'm just going to give it a little bit. No, I'm all right. I'm just going to leave it the way it is.
So when the guy talked about scorch marks, how because you've got no ability to, like, this is a rotating device. You're not moving anything. No. So how do you prevent something from getting scorch marks?
Well, just the drop temperature is very different for a particular weight. So, and also ambient temperature is also really, really important. So if it's a really hot day, you can't drop it. You can drop it at a lower temperature. If it's a really cold day, you need to drop it at a high temperature to keep the beans at a certain profile. I love just put it anyway. I love this whole coffee thing because it's so variable, so complex.
Then what's
in every shape or form. That's dry end. I've called dry end. I'm just going to see that's tipping point, dry end.
Yeah.
And I'm working toward first crack. So first crack is the stage where all the carbon is released and all that moisture is released. And the bean kind of the cherry, the bean kind of opens. And
when you pop your cherry.
Yeah. Mate, you start to. Oh, did you hear that?
Yeah, I did. Oh wow, look, and the colours. So that's almost done, isn't it?
No.
Really? It's going to go darker than that?
Yeah. Smell that? So I'm getting first crack now, I think. It's approaching first crack. Okay.
And then what's happening here? Because that's going.
I'm going to call first crack.
Yeah, that's.
Okay. And then we're working now to 9% development time, 9.6%. So here is the 9.6% development time.
Okay.
So see how it'll be a lot shorter than the other profile, but I think this is a lot to do with the ambient temperature in this room to get it, and this is why you need the charting program so that
it's
you
really
can
popping now, isn't it?
Yeah. So look at it now. Now, this is quite a short roast, so we've got to be really careful. I mean, it's a light roast, so I don't want to overcook it. And for me, it's all about smell. Okay, I think we're good to drop here. 7, 8, and I'm going to drop.
Oh wow.
So see there? See in there?
Yeah.
That's what happens. So it's just going round, 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 round.
How far back does the actual, so it goes to about here, does it?
The
drums.
Pretty far back, yeah. So yeah, there's your coffee.
And this just cools it down.
Yeah. So I'm really happy with that. That's about 9%. 9%? See when you pick up this bean, it's a bit hot still, but see there's no scorch marks? Generally there'd be like a like a dot or a speck on these beans. And it's because we've
put it on my Strava when I go for a ride afterwards.
No.
Coffee roasting.
Yeah. So there's a couple of there's a couple in there that are quite light. So yeah, they say when you can taste a bean. Yeah. You can say when you can taste a bean.
And so that's where it's cracked. So
that probably is that bean that's been picked is probably incorrect. So see there's like a light one here that didn't go.
Yeah.
Anyway, those need to be taken out. Okay, just put it here.
Oh, okay. So they should still be
quite uniform. So like this one here. See how this is quite a light roast.
Yeah.
But that hasn't like popped the whole, like exploded the whole bean. And so there's other ones that like, so the objective for this profile is to be extremely light because it draws out that chocolate taste. So I'm just going to write this up for us today.
So once it's roasted, the roaster would go through and basically check for the quality of the beans again. So almost like when they're picked.
Yeah, which we'll do when we get back into the other room. So I'm going to roast another bean, which is I'm going to do straight away. We'll do the Dominican Republic. But I'm just going to just write this one down. So this is profile 0927. 8.9.
Pretty cool.
8.9%.
You can see why it's becoming like there's a sort of a popular, I guess, people are doing it themselves now because the whole thing's quite.
It's amazing.
Quite therapeutic just watching it and having to do all of this stuff. And
I don't know where you'd put one of these in your house, but
no, I wouldn't be able. We wouldn't be able to do this. I'd have to buy your old place upstairs, and then
Okay, this is ready to go. I'll just leave that. I'm really happy with that roast. I'm really happy with that roast. I'll just write on this. So, chocolate, 0927, and it's the 5th of June. Mate, again, it's when it comes to
I'm seeing the stress levels to see what the anxiety does with with the coffee effect. So because I can feel that first coffee. This is where it's starting to wear off now. But with me, that's how long the caffeine can last for. So that's been a...
No, I mean, I think personally, Josh, the fresher the coffee, the less the high, much smoother of the effect.
Yeah.
In my view. Smell that.
I can't actually smell it because of the plastic, but I could smell... Yeah. Yeah, that'd be...
Yeah.
I much prefer the smell when it's fresh because it's
So
more,
we're just
more
gonna-
prominent and fresh, I think.
Just keep